And now let's do the reading with listening. This is the text we are going to read. Let's look at it with a little detail. First, we have a title. Who knows you better, your family or your friends? Then we have this section of text, and we have a second section of text. If we look at the second section of text, we can see that it starts and it finishes with quotation marks. This means that this text is not a description, it is said by a person. It is a person's experience or opinion. And if you look at it, you can see I. This is what one person says. It is full of I. If you look at the text over here, that doesn't happen. There is no I. So we have a title, a first section of text, a second section of text, and we also have a picture with information on who the people in the picture are. And we can see that we have 3 people. We have Richard Taylor, Meg, and Danny. And these 3 people are connected. We assume this is Richard, this is Meg, and this is Danny. And now we can know the relationship. Richard Taylor with his mother, Meg. Okay, so this is son and mother. And his friend, Danny. And this is Danny, Richard's friend. So they are friends, and they are son and mother. Who knows Richard better? Meg, his mom, or Danny, his friend? Who do you think knows this person better? Well, to be able to answer this question, we are going to read the text. First, we will read the introduction to the article, and afterwards, I will ask you, who is Richard? Who is Danny? What do Richard's mother and Danny try to do? And what does Richard have to do? Here we go. Who knows you better, your family or your friends? In our weekly test, single people who are looking for a partner ask their mother and their best friend to help. The mother chooses one partner, and the best friend chooses another. The test is to see who can choose the best partner. This week's single man is Richard Taylor, a 26-year-old musician from Vancouver, Canada. His mother, Meg, chooses one woman, and his best friend, Danny, chooses another. Then Richard goes on a date with each woman. Which woman does he prefer? Who knows him better, his mother or his best friend? Who chooses the right woman for him? If you remember, the questions we needed to answer were, who is Richard? And the information is here. Who is Danny? And the information is here. What do Richard's mother and Danny try to do? There is the information. And what does Richard have to do? And there is the information. There is the information, but now you have to write it or say it as an answer. So, who is Richard? Richard is a musician. He is 26 years old. He is from Vancouver. Who is Danny? Danny is Richard's best friend. What do Richard's mother and Danny try to do? They try to choose the right woman for Danny. And what does Richard have to do? Richard has to go out on a date with each woman. In the next section, we will read the quote. We need to know who is talking, and after we read this, we will need to answer true or false. Okay? So, I usually work in Canada, but sometimes I work abroad too. When I'm not working, I like going to the movies and eating in nice restaurants. I don't like sports very much, and I don't exercise, but at least I don't smoke. I think I'm open and friendly. I get along well with most people, but I can be kind of shy too. For example, I don't like going to parties. I prefer to meet friends individually or in small groups. I like intelligent, funny women who make me laugh, and ideally who love music. Physically, I prefer women with dark hair who are not taller than me, and I like women who are good listeners. I'm sure that my friend Danny knows me better than my family because we often talk about girlfriends and the problems we have. I don't usually talk to my family about that kind of thing. My mom always says I look for the wrong kind of women, but that's what mothers always say. That was the text, and now we need to go through the true and false sentences. He sometimes travels for his job. I usually work in Canada, but sometimes I work abroad. If he works abroad, he sometimes travels for his job. He's friendly and outgoing. Well, I'm open and friendly, and I get along well with most people. So yes, I think he's friendly and outgoing. He likes music and parties. I don't like going to parties, so that is false. He prefers women who are shorter than he is. I prefer women with dark hair who are not taller than me, so that is true. He likes women who talk a lot. And I like women who are good listeners. Well, we have to understand that if they are good listeners, they can't talk a lot, so that would be false. He doesn't talk to his family about women. I usually don't talk to my family about that kind of thing. And that kind of thing is girlfriends and problems. So he doesn't talk to his family is true. And his mother doesn't think he's good at choosing girlfriends. My mom always says that I look for the wrong kind of woman. So yes, his mother doesn't think he's good at choosing girlfriends is true.